All right, for the inward sweep, our first defensive position, he's giving you a downward angle one. We're going to use a bent arm lever, and we're actually going to use the stick as a lever for this one. Now, ideally for this, you're actually going to throw him down with the weapon. I like to think of this as really like a segue into one of our other weapon studies. We do another weapon study of the staff, but like half staff, right? Something to be about the size of a walking stick or a cane. And with a stick that's longer like that, you get a better lever on this. So this will work with a stick this long. You can still make it work, but the longer stick is a better tool for this. So this movement is a segue into some of the stuff we do with that longer stick. Because when we get into the longer stick and the options when you have a longer stick, you really can manipulate someone and actually use a stick as a lever to throw them down. So this is the first of those, and it's really for the half staff or the cane stuff that we do. But we're going to use this as a bent arm lever. Do a sweep here first. I'm checking the hand, right? We sweep, the live hand reaches in, and it's going to check at his hand. I want to grab towards the bottom here, if the best I can, kind of monitoring the punyo, because if he lets go of the stick, then this is great. It just disarms him, right? I'm assuming he won't let go of the stick, and that gives me a better handle, right? So if he lets go of the stick, you lose the bent arm lever, but he lost his weapon, and you still have yours. That's still a win. That's a big win. You disarmed him nonetheless. If he doesn't let go of the stick, if he's being stubborn, and he probably will be, then when you sweep in here, you want to reach, as you check his hand, reach down, and you're grabbing, essentially trying to get your hand around the bottom of his hand in the punyo this way. And that allows you then to pass the stick around to the other side of his arm. It'll be on the outside of his arm. And you're going to come using it like a lever at his elbow, and the other end comes up. It could also be hitting him in the face, but you want to bring it across his neck. So you lock his elbow and his neck with the stick. And then just by pulling back, the other end automatically pushes forward. That's my lever, just doing this. This affects his head. This affects his elbow. You pull his elbow, pushes his head down, and you simply turn and throw him down to the ground. It's a pretty easy takedown. So we're going to look at that with the bent arm lever. Max wants to come on in, and we'll show you how this works. So he's using the inside sweep to stop my angle one. He comes over the top, and as he's checking his hand, he's doing real good. He's actually hooking here and grabbing with his fingers the bottom of it. As he comes around here, right? Worst case scenario on this, I let go of the stick. Okay, he doesn't have my hand anymore. He won't get me in the bent arm lever. But I don't have a stick anymore, and he does. In fact, now he's got both, right? So I'm still in a bad position. I'll probably be stubborn and not let go of it, right? So he's still holding on to it, and I'm like, no, I don't want to lose my weapon. He wants this at my elbow, his hand and the stick at my elbow, but the other end's coming up across my neck. And with it across my throat, why don't we do a 180 so they can see the position here? Yeah. So it's coming across the elbow and it stretches up. Again, a longer stick helps because you're limited by how long the weapon is and how long their arm is. That's why we use it more for a longer weapon, but this still works, right? You catch the elbow, pulling the elbow this way automatically pushes at my neck, and all he has to do is turn that way and it throws me to the ground. Good. Let's do it again. Let's do it from this side so they can see. So he sweeps, he grabs, comes around. Yeah, he hits him too. Pulls, boom, throws him to his back. That is a bent arm lever using the stick. One more time. The inside sweep, he's checking and grabbing, catching at my elbow and throat, and pulls and pushes and bringing me down. Take down from there. Good. Up and catches. Yep, turns and brings it down. All right, our next disarm happens on step 5. So the first one was right off step 1. But step 2 does the thrust, 3 does the outward 4 does this downward diagonal, and then that brings you to the outward sweep. That's step 5. From the outward sweep, as we do the outward sweep, this again is going to be one where we come with a palm up grab. So as you outward sweep, we palm up and grab his wrist. The reason for that is I can turn it this way. I can swing his arm, and that will turn his hand from this to this, stick pointing down. You'll take it from this side of his body, sweep it down so that the stick's pointing down, just going from here to here, right? Just swinging your arm down does this to them. So from this here, we sweep, and I'm going to use the stick to help guide. And then once it gets onto my left side, I'm going to bring the punyo end over the stick. I'm using the longer part to help push the stick over, but I'm going to roll so that I can get his stick between the punyo and the hammer fist part of my hand, and we're pulling and pushing in like a horizontal direction, and you can actually shoot their stick at one of their buddies if they've got somebody else coming by rolling it that way. We turn and we fire the stick off to the side that way. So that is our punyo. It's a punyo roll and strip from this side. From the outward sweep, palm up grip, I pass it to the opposite side, which is already creating kind of an inward wrist lock on him, which helps. Then I roll the stick over, and right at his thumb, I want to push and pull. This comes the direction I want his stick to go, and I pull the hand in the opposite direction, and it will strip it free. So if you want to watch that in motion, how that would look. So just that disarm part, I think this would be the best angle for it. So as I'm thrusting out here, you catch palm up, that's creating this inward wrist lock. Yep, and it turns and throws the stick down. We'll turn on this one, throw it towards the wall. Maybe it'll help. Goes out here, he grabs palm up, yep, and he shoots it back at the wall that way. It's complicated to explain, but it's pretty simple to do actually. It fits in the pocket really, really well. When you grab here, this little punyo, again, it just kind of hooks right where it needs to. As you push and pull, you can strip that right out again. Do it one more time. Out, grabs, yeah, rolls and strips. Strips it free. Turning that hand in the process. Now, if we did it in the pattern, say we did it in the pattern, when we started with our 1, you thrust 2, you come 3, good. Coming around 4, now as I thrust 5, you come out and grab, bring it down, yep, strip it right out again. Good. Again, if we go from the beginning, step 1, thrust 2, good. 3, you're cutting, good. 4 comes down, and then 5, outward sweep, grabs, turns and sweeps. Yeah, it comes right out of the hand. Real easy that way. Very good. That is the punyo strip, where you can throw it out. It is really the same as one of our earlier ones. We did it off a shield, where we rolled and we shot it straight down. This is just doing it on a horizontal plane, what we did on a vertical plane earlier. Very good. All right, from the thrust, he blocks out the outward sweep. Palm up grabs, so he can twist my wrist, easily turning it palm down. Yeah, and he went, let's take one step back. He had the stick, using the stick as he passed it down. Right as it's passing the center line, he wants to hook with his punyo right where my thumb is. And he's continuing to torque my wrist this way as he pushes and pulls. And the closer it is to my thumb, the easier it just strips right out of that grip. All right, so the third of our disarms is coming off step 6, that drop stick motion that we're doing. And you're doing the drop stick right at the point when he's cutting across the waist, right? That's the point where you're intercepting. So as we do the drop stick here, you use the drop stick, and you might even think of like you could go into a snaking disarm here and say something went wrong in that process. But what I'm doing with the drop stick is I want to take my tip, I want to bring it under his wrist and come back up on the other side. Right? I want to bring the hand up, right? Kind of like I'm circling, maybe like I'm hitchhiking with it. Right? Comes down, comes up, hitchhikes. In the end, I'll have my stick coming across his wrist. I'll have his stick coming across mine. Right? It'll be like we're both holding. I'm holding my stick, and he's supporting it with his wrist, and he's holding his stick, and I'm supporting it my wrist. Have you ever done that game where you grab your own forearm and someone else grabs their own forearm, and their free hand grabs yours, and your free hand grabs where theirs is bent, and you create a little square there, and you can actually pick somebody up and walk them around that way. You create this little seat. That's what we're doing essentially with these sticks. When it comes up, I'm creating the seat. Here's my side. Underneath will be his side coming across the top. But because I'm the palm up and he'll be palm down, he won't have the same grip that I do. Just by pushing straight down, it'll disarm and you'll be holding his weapon. It'll be in reverse grip, but you'll have his weapon stripped that way and be able to take it away, right? And that's from the drop stick position. And we're crossing at the wrist, dropping straight down and taking his weapon away. So if you want to see how that will play out from the drop stick. So if I'm coming angle 4, outward 4, and he does the drop stick here, right? And checking at the hand, yes. He wants to bring the tip up, and when it crosses the wrist, there it is. See, mine's goofy. It's like a bad inward wrist lock here. I'm already starting to lose my grip. He's got a nice strong grip, and we've created this like seat that someone could sit on. When he drops it down, it just comes right out of my hand. I can't hold it anymore. He's got my weapon now that way. So again, the crossing at the wrist cross and drop. Comes out, boom, he checks. The tip comes under, the wrist cross, yep. And then just by dropping straight down, I can't hold on to it anymore. Now if we put that into the flow pattern, right? Starting with step 1, you have your inward sweep. Then you thrust, good. Then you're cutting at the waist, that's where I drop stick, right? Then you come in around angle 1. I'm thrusting out, good. And then when I come across, he drops sticks, good. That circles at our wrists, he drops down and takes it away, good. Try that again. From step 1, inward sweep, he thrusts, good. He cuts, good. He comes around, and then he blocks my thrust and drop stick. It circles, and then straight down again, right? So you're making a little circle with after you do your drop stick. The better leverage you have, the smaller circle you make, right? You don't want to make too big a circle because it's harder to keep the leverage here on the end. And the closer their hand is to your hand, the better leverage you have, right? So getting close on this helps when he does it. Again, if I'm just doing that drop, boom, the closer he stays in, wrist to wrist, yeah, the more leverage he has as he does it. He drops straight down, takes my stick away. And that's it. That is using the wrist crossing method to do this strip. And it feels a lot, again, like that fencing, that epee idea, where you're making this small circle, only it's coming up larger using your wrist instead. Let's switch sides and do the same thing. I'll just feed the attack coming across, and he does the drop stick. He feeds that under as they cross. He comes straight down. I don't have the weapon anymore. It's very easy to take it away at that point. Again, drop stick comes, that tip comes up, crossing the wrists, down it goes, right? Very simple takedown, or very simple disarm that way. You just keep the circle, the smaller the circle is, the easier the disarm is. It wraps, crossing at the wrists, comes straight down, takes it away. Intercepts, tip comes up, crosses at the wrist, straight down. I can't hold on to it.